Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Big Money Talks with me, Big Money Drew Nicholas. And today, we're going to have a really exciting episode because I am going to not really talk about wrestling that much, but instead, I'm going to talk about my top 10 favorite wrestling themes. And we have a guest for the first time. I know my last way that I had my desk, you actually could see litter in the background. Oh, and he jumped down. Well, never mind. What a terrible guest you are. Come here. I want to show you off for a second. This is Alexander. Uh, Say hi. Say hello. You don't want to say hello? Well, I tried. Look. Up here. Up here. Up here. Yeah, sorry. Bad guest. Really bad guest. He just runs amok and does what he wants to do. Anyway, so today we're going to talk about our my top 10 favorite wrestling themes. And boy, was this a tough list. This was a tough list, especially when we get to number three. I'm actually gonna make you listen to number three, and I'm gonna make you listen to what I was gonna make number three, that I was bouncing back and forth. Oh, there we go. See, what I tell you. What I tell you. He's a terrible guest. Isn't he a terrible guest? You're a terrible guest. I still love you anyway. But anyway, all right. So, top 10 favorite wrestling themes, and I'm gonna do some honorary themes, like the most honorable ones, honorable mentions. But I want to talk about really quickly. We got the Royal Rumble coming on Sunday, and is anybody excited about the Royal Rumble? I mean, for the Royal Rumble itself, you have to be excited because it's the Royal Rumble, and that's like my favorite. But man, there's some stuff that's questionable, to say the least. Really questionable. Yeah, so they've so SmackDown. We'll talk about SmackDown first, as always, really quickly. SmackDown, wonderful. There was one little misstep, which, funny enough, involved the women's division last week, and it was not the Bianca Bailey segment, because that was really good. I was hoping that wouldn't, go the way of some other segments in the past, and it didn't. So I was really happy about that. But that tag team match, it was a good match. Not like it wasn't a good match, but Ruby and Liv deserve better. And that's a theme with WWE these days. A bunch of people deserve better. And that was like the worst part of SmackDown last week, because why not make that a title match? Like they were okay, like they haven't been on a winning streak, the Riot Squad, but just like make it interesting. Don't just make it this random thing where, you don't even, I don't know. It's this thing with Charlotte and Asuka. Man, with Asuka in general, and well, wait. So we'll save that for Raw. Um, Everything on SmackDown is great, besides that little thing I just talked about. I'm really excited for Roman and Kevin Owens. I know they've been, that's been the match a couple of times, but they always like find something different, and so now it's a last man standing. I think that's going to add to this, because that segment last week, that closing segment for SmackDown, that was how we have been wanting to see Roman for a long time, just battered, broken, and it was at the hands of Kevin Owens. And I think that Owens is the perfect foil at the moment. I don't think he's winning on Sunday, but for him to be the first one to actually get Roman down, I think was a really great visual on Friday. And, um, you know, there was no Jey Uso, so that was interesting. I don't know if there's something going on, COVID related, but it was interesting that even if it was, COVID related or whatever, that was the first time that somebody was actually able to put Roman down when Jay's not around. Interesting. Very interesting. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. Big E and Xavier, no, sorry, Big E and Apollo Crews. How I miss the Big E and Xavier and Kofi together. That hasn't been announced if they're having a match at the Royal Rumble for the Intercontinental Championship, but I wouldn't be surprised if they did, because why not? And now with Sami Zayn in the mix, maybe they'll do a triple threat. That could be really fun. And who knows? Maybe if Big E loses somehow, he'll then get into the Royal Rumble. Big E, Roman Reigns at the WrestleMania. I've been wanting that for a while. Didn't think that was what was going to be the thing, because Daniel Bryan, it seems they're positioning high, but they're also positioning Nakamura high. They're positioning Cesaro, So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. Sasha and Carmella are going to have a match, I'm sure. Yeah, they are, because that was confirmed, actually. I believe I read that was confirmed. And boy, Reginald last week, that was something. I wasn't expecting it to be much, but he's got some really great moves. I would actually like to see him in the ring more. I really would. So I'm expecting Sasha to retain. I'm sure she's going to WrestleMania as the champion. So let's shift on over to Monday Night Raw quickly, because there isn't really much to talk about. I've liked Drew McIntyre as champion, but I do not care about the Goldberg stuff at all. So whatever. I'm hoping, So I mean, one of the best things that happened is that Edge is coming back for the Royal Rumble. He'll be in the Royal Rumble. He had a great promo last night, and it then hit me. Edge being in the Royal Rumble and a redemption story to WrestleMania, not just from his not just a redemption story from 10 years ago when he had to retire early, but the redemption from last year when he, got his injury, so he's been out. So I don't know. My fear, it just came to me like, oh no, are they gonna have Miz cash in at the end of the Royal Rumble, and then have Miz versus Edge? Edge wins the Royal Rumble and Edge goes to WrestleMania, and then Miz is the champion. Like, yikes, that wouldn't be the greatest, because this Miz Morrison thing is just dead on arrival. It's been dead on arrival for forever now, and I can't take it anymore. Correct. That is very correct. Okay. I just don't want to hear them anymore. I don't want to see them together anymore. The whole bullshit is just no. Other people that deserve better. Well, you had Riot Squad on SmackDown. You've got Ricochet. Ricochet's been nowhere for the past couple of weeks, and you've got the main person on SmackDown, on Raw, who needs a lot of TLC. Asuka and Charlotte are the women's tag champions, but you wouldn't even know that they were a tag team if commentary didn't mention it because they're never together, except for when they're in a match together. They're not backstage together. They don't come out and help each other. They don't do pretty much anything together except wrestle when they need to wrestle in a title match or a non-title match. So I don't really understand what the point was of making them champion in the first place, because it hasn't done anything for anybody. It really hasn't. I mean, it was pointless to put the titles on them. Asuka is now the third wheel in yet another feud where she had the Sasha Bailey thing going on. She had with Kairi Sane, and she had the Lana thing with Nia and Shayna. Now she's third wheel in Brandy and Alexa and the Fiend and that whole thing. Like, okay, she's the champion, so she's gonna have a title match with Alexa Bliss. But then she's not even going to be like featured that much. Like, she had a good first half last night. She got a lot of offense in, but then what happened? The magical stuff came back, the rocking horse, and then Goth, Fiendette, Alexa Bliss, and I don't like that. I said it last week. I preferred the psychological aspect of it when the Fiend was psychologically in Alexa's head. This magical stuff, I'm not feeling it. I'm not. And I feel bad about that because I like Alexa Bliss. I like Asuka. I like the Fiend. But it's just not working well. It's really not, and it's really a shame. Asuka deserves better. I mean, for what it's worth, Alexa seems to be having a really good time because this horror stuff is right up her alley. So I don't feel bad for her, in that respect, because she's probably really enjoying what she's doing. But no, I'm not enjoying the magical aspect. Really not. And let's see, was there anything else on Raw I wanted to touch on? So the Hurt Business had their whole thing last night. Cedric cost both MVP and Shelton their matches, essentially. I mean, Shelton and Cedric cost MVP, but it was really because of Cedric. And Riddle will now be facing Bobby Lashley for the U.S. title. I don't know if it was announced for the Royal Rumble. I don't know. But we'll see. I'm kind of thinking that Lashley's going to lose and Riddle will be the new U.S. title, the U.S. champion. But it might be because of Cedric. And if that's the case, I don't think he'll be part of the Hurt Business much longer. Because I don't think Lashley will let that go easy. So we'll see what happens there. But right now, I expect. Well, Cedric and Shelton are the tag team champions. So I mean, I'm not going to see a split unless they do like a Freebird thing and MVP or Lashley get that the other tag title, and then they just dump Cedric. We'll see what happens with that. And I think that's it. That is it, because I don't want to talk about anything else. Forget about everything else. It's time. I want to get to the fun part. It's time for the top 10 wrestling entrance teams. Now, you're going to see a mixture of things, and I'm going to do my best to really describe how I feel about each one and why I picked each one when we get to the top 10. I have another 10, 5 of them that are that I became aware of recently that I love, and 5 that are the honorable mentions for the top 10 list. And then the one that tied with number 3, essentially, that I'll play as well. YouTube, be nice to me, please. I really want to have this. We'll see. I mean, if something happens, something happens. I'll figure out something if it gets taken down or whatever. So yeah. So I want to talk about first the new ones that I found that were interesting. I'm not going to play them because I couldn't find them all. But so in no particular order, too. This isn't in any order. This isn't ranked. I found out, actually, thanks to Sean Rossap. He interviewed Victoria from WWE years ago, and I didn't know that Victoria used tattoos, all the things she said, as an entrance theme. And I heard it, and the way that they cut it was really cool, and the way they did the eye and the hand, that was really cool. I think that fit her very well. I know she used another theme after that actually involved Nicki Minaj. But that theme, when they did the eye in the middle of the hand, I really like that a lot. I love that song, aside from wrestling. So it was so interesting. And her, she had a funny story with that. I highly suggest going to Fightful's YouTube and looking at that interview. That was a really great interview by Sean. Next one was one that I just heard when I watched Impact. This is actually an Impact theme, a recent one. I don't know how long it's been in use since I don't watch Impact. But Moose's Impact theme, it's very like, it's got that like Seth Rollins-esque, Bailey-esque, that like gospel choir, like a church type of a thing. I really like that for him, and just that like his presence, Moose's presence. It's really nice. I think it fits very well with his music, and so I really like that one a lot. Another one that I like now, AEW, Top Flight. That's a real good song for them. It goes really hard, and I think it really works for them. I really like Top Flight a lot. I hope that great things happen for them, and I became a very big fan of them immediately. They're incredible. They're incredible, just absolutely talented, and they've got longevity in this business. And then another from AEW, Lance Archer's "Everybody Dies." That's I think that very much fits Lance Archer. Everybody dies. I mean, when they were really pushing him at the beginning, and he was just wrecking stuff and coming out with like some random person and throwing them in the ring, or that scene a while back when he like destroyed a back area with a guy, like threw him up in the ceiling, threw him all over the place. That's really fun, and I really like Lance Archer. So that his theme, I think, really fits with him. And then my fifth new theme that I actually just heard while I was researching entrance themes for this podcast was Humberto Carrillo's theme, Carrillo. I'm not really great with the Spanish. With Spanish, I apologize. It's called Ambitious, and it is great. it is great. I highly suggest you look up all of these, but especially look up this one because it just it rocks. It's got this like Spanish theme to it, and it's so awesome, and I want to hear it. Like, how could you give you gave this really awesome song to somebody that's not on TV all the time? Like, I want to hear this theme every week, please. So, all right. So now the honorable mentions, and I am gonna play the honorable mentions. So you're gonna be surprised by some of these. Trust me, you're gonna be surprised by some of these, including this one, which I forgot that was gonna happen. Thanks, Alexa. Thank you so much. So playing from my desktop now is the first honorable mention. Let me explain. Okay. I love this song. This is a great song. And this version, though, not the King Corbin version, Baron Corbin's I Bring the Darkness, just as this. I like this song. I'm sorry. Okay. And it fits with him. I wish they didn't do, just get rid of that King stuff, and please, this way, it's got the name of his finisher in it. End of Days. It's so great, and it really fits with his character. Now, my thing is, you're gonna find me crazy with this, I swear. My 3 qualifications for a song that I picked for this list, including for the honorables: I can listen from start to finish without any distraction. The ambience of the music production aspect fits with the character. And the third qualification, I would actually like to walk out to that music and have it as mine. I like this song. I'm sorry. I really like this song. So it was just, I don't like it as much as the rest of the songs on the list, but it's if somebody said, hey, we have a song for you, wrestler Drew Nicholas, here it is, I wouldn't mind that song, honestly. So that's one on the honorable list. The second song that I have on my honorable list is this one. Bianca Belair, Watch Me Shine. This song fits her really well, honestly. I love how she twirls her hair and she skips down the ring. I would come out to the song. Absolutely. Tell me, hey, Drew, this is your song? Sure. It fits with her so well. Like, she's such a great character and a great person. I haven't watched her Chronicle yet on the network. But oh my goodness, I even forgot to mention the whole the network and NBC Peacock thing. We'll do that another time. But yes, I haven't watched a Chronicle yet of Network. I want to watch that. I will. And her song rocks. I'm just saying. Okay. The next song that's on my list, I mentioned these gentlemen just a couple of minutes ago. I love that Jaws sound. The Hurt Business. This is a good song. this makes them badass. When they come out to this, I love it. So yeah, I would come out to the song too. It's just it's a great song, and all of them standing there, especially with the suits and that gold in the background and them in their suits. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. I really love this. Um, and they also did like a variant of this song, I believe, with Bobby Lashley, because he doesn't have his old song anymore. So it just fits it so well. I have to give MVP so much credit in the world, really, because without MVP on Raw last year, I don't know what any of these men would be doing. Bobby Lashley, Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander. They are in such a better place than they were last year before MVP came back. And this is like one of those really great songs that fits their ambience. It's just coming out to that and walking down the ramp in their suits. I really love it. So that is that's the Hurt Business. It's Time. That's the name of that song. Now, another interesting one that you might not expect to be on this list. Sheamus, Hellfire. I really enjoyed the song ever since he debuted it a few years back. I could just rock out to the song. I would love to walk out to the song. I really would. And just do, the whole thing with the light shining on me. It'd be really cool. I'm not gonna lie. And especially, the way that he looks, it's got that just that ambience about it. I liked his old song. I really did. But this one just fits with him so much better. Like it's got that badass ambience to it, and the way that he looks, like now he doesn't have those things anymore, because that did look a little stupid. I'm not gonna lie, but hey, however you want to look, that's your prerogative. That's your thing. But yeah, so that's one I would love to come out to as well. And now, here's another AEW theme that I really like a lot. And here you go. Hangman Adam Page. I'm not really that much into country music, but this has that like country vibe to it. And it has this older sound as well. I really like this song a lot, and it fits with Adam Page. I mean, he comes out and he's got that cowboy feel. The song goes with it. I really love it a lot. I tested the volume, by the way, beforehand, and it seemed like it was pretty good. I didn't test the volume on all the songs, so I hope that some of them might be a little bit lower than the others, depending on the YouTube quality of them. So I apologize if one may sound a little louder, one might sound a little, lower. But I'm not touching the volume. I just left the volume in one spot that sounded good with some of the songs. I tested them on the top 5, I think maybe even 6 or 7. So I just wanted to put that out there. Yeah, so Hangman Adam Page, great theme. I would walk out to that. Now, the final one that I have on the list before we get to the top 10, the actual top 10, was a song that I was hoping we were going to be hearing on Legends Night, and unfortunately, he was not there. This song is great. Carlito. I love this song. I really do. And what's really awesome about this song is that the entrance video that they put with it when they were doing that, people who don't want to be cool. I love it. I really love it. This song, not only does it fit with him as a character, but just the Caribbean background, it makes you like feel like you're sitting at the beach and you have that song going in your head, and there's the palm trees and the ocean, and it's got such a great feeling to it. It really does. So yeah, so those are my honorable mentions, and we'll get to the other honorable mention when I get to number 3. Now the top 10, my top 10 favorite wrestling entrance themes. Number 10. Hit me with that Triple H. My Time. This song rocks. And to be honest with you, this is my favorite one of all of his themes. Because back then in the Attitude Era, you heard that music and you were instantly booing. And I remember hearing this back then, you know, when I was watching in the Attitude Era. He's one of the most memorable characters for me besides Undertaker and Austin and The Rock. And when this music came on, oh, that darn Triple H. So yeah, and it really worked too with him and China, and then I believe Stephanie also came out to it later on. It just worked so well with his character back then. It worked so well. I really wish that he would actually like bring that back once, just to pop me, please, Triple H, bring back My Time. I mean, hey, since you disappeared, maybe you can come back as the old Triple H, like you know, like the match last year with Fiend and Bray and John Cena. Maybe you can come back with My Time. That would be nice. I know that's not gonna happen, but you know, it would pop me. I would 100% walk out to that and do the water spitting, you know. But I actually have tried that a couple of times. I can't do it as well as he does. My Time, Triple H, number 10. Number 9 is another older entrance theme, and I'm gonna tell you why I'm actually heartbroken when I hear this, as much as I love it so much. Randy Orton, Burn in My Life. Some people don't like the song, and one of those people, which breaks my heart so much. Nothing you can say, nothing's gonna change what you've done to me. I love this song, Randy Orton, Mr. Orton, sir. Why don't you like this song? He didn't like this. I'm heartbroken. I don't understand why people don't like this song. You know, Voices is all right, but I'm not a huge fan of it. You know, it sounds good for his, you know, for right now. I can't help but sing it. You know, they tried so hard to. Okay, I have to stop. I'm gonna embarrass myself. I have to stop. I really like that song. I wish that Randy Orton liked that song too. Mr. Orton. You know, I really like it. I'm sorry. I know you don't like it, but Oh, it hurts. It hurts that he doesn't like that song. It really does. That would, I would love to have that as my entrance theme, really. Okay, so that was number 8. No, that was number 9. Number 8 now is a more current song and not a song on the main roster. You really see this in everyone's top lists, really. This is so badass, though. It really is. The Undisputed Era, Undisputed. And there are, like when a great group is there and you get a song like this and it just fits. This one just fits with the Undisputed Era. They all have this presence about them. And, I don't watch NXT that much anymore, but I actually was even able to hear this theme in Evolve when Kyle O'Reilly faced Austin Theory, Tahiri, as he called him back then. I just love that. I'm sorry. I really love that. That it just works. It works for everybody. And that that's going to be Adam Cole's like actual music once they break up, if they ever break up. But they run NXT and I'm okay with that. I've always enjoyed them. I'm just not that into NXT these days. And I wasn't a huge watcher of NXT. Like I watched some takeovers and stuff, but NXT wasn't my bread and butter. That's just how it was for me. That was number 8. Now, number 7. Number 7 is another older theme that I actually like. In this case, just a little bit more, than his current theme. Though, we haven't heard his current theme in quite a while. CM Punk, This Fire Burns, number 7. This song is, I'm not into this type of music, really. But this one rocks. This is a banger. And it worked with CM Punk's character. I was not watching during the height of, the summer Punk and stuff. I came in right after that. But this song, when I did go back and watch the Summer of Punk and that Money in the Bank match, this song was so epic. It was so epic because it, the whole Chicago crowd and that Money in the Bank, and that song comes on and is like, like the team winning the top title of whatever sport, hockey, basketball, baseball, whatever it was, and you're in that stadium and they get that winning shot, and that was like that same feeling that CM Punk at Money in the Bank when he came out and that crowd just erupted. And they were chanting his name before too. That whole thing, it just added with this song. I think it really worked. Now I like Cult of Personality too, but I like this one just a little bit more, and that's why This Fire Burns is number 7. Number 6 is a theme that is a little bit remixed and currently used for somebody, but also was part of a group. And this version, when it was the group song, I like it. I prefer it more. This is number 6. Shield. And Bana. Ba-na, ba-na. I just love this. This is really great. Um, I would come out to the song, absolutely, walk right down the ramp. Not so much the crowd, just not, that's not my thing. But I would walk out, onto the ramp to the ring with the song, absolutely. And of course, Roman uses the song a different, little bit different. It sounds slightly different. Um, and it's great. It fit with Dean at the time, Seth Rollins and Roman just so well. Really badass theme. Uh, yeah, unfortunately, we'll probably never see these three together again, unless John Moxley happens to come to WWE again, or Roman and Seth go to AEW, which I doubt will ever happen. So rest in peace, The Shield, forever in the hearts, and your music forever in my heart as well. Now we are coming up to the top five in my top 10. And number 5, all right? Oh man, I love Sasha Banks so much. And I love Sky's the Limit, the original Sky's the Limit. The Snoop Dogg one, not really that much of a fan, to be honest with you. This one, I love this one. It's just, it fits Sasha Banks so much. It really does. And Jeremy, if you're watching this, there we go. I just did it, just like you. Boss. I don't have, the thing obviously, but yeah, I really love this one. I really do. The best women's theme for me right now is this one. I'm sorry. Like, I love Becky Lynch. I love Asuka. I love Alexa. And I love Bailey. But this song rocks. This one's the best one. So, yeah. That's my number 5. Sasha Banks. Sky is the limit. Number 4 is a wrestler's favorite theme as well. Xavier Woods. I'm not going to scream because, I have to respect other people. But I would have screamed that if I could. Definitely. This song, when Batista came back in 2013, I was so happy because I never really saw Batista during his run. Stop this bit of danger. There's another one. There's another one I could embarrass myself. I have to stop. But yeah, this one, when I heard that for the first time, when he came back, oh man, that was so cool. And going back and watching some of his old stuff, he's just a joy. He really is a joy. And I'm so happy that he came back and he had, a little bit of a run. And so I have to clear these things because I want to see what time I have here. Yeah, that's just great. And he's great in Guardians of the Galaxy, and just he's a great actor. Surprise, surprise. I'm not surprised that much, but he's a great actor. The music is wonderful. I enjoyed his match with Triple H at WrestleMania 2 years ago. Future Hall of Famer, because technically he's supposed to be in the Hall of Fame, but then they couldn't do the Hall of Fame last year. That song is badass. I will always sing that song. I would love to walk out to that song. And that's number 4. Now, Number 3. Now, I mentioned these men before, and this was the hardest. This was the hardest one. Uh, I had to choose between this one and another one, and here you go. Here is my actual number 3, the actual number 3 on my list. You might be a little surprised. Stone Cold, Steve Austin, but not his original theme song, the Disturbed theme song. This is so good. I like this more than his original theme song. And what's interesting is that I only found out about this theme much later, like a couple of years ago. I had no idea that he had used this song because I was already out of wrestling by then. And it was like when he went heel, and then he had that like, he was like had this like Disturbed. I mean, it fits with what was going on back then. He didn't know if he wanted to be back with the WWF at the time, and it fit with his character, and I would love to walk out to that. Oh my goodness. Now, the song that I was fighting back and forth with, that's not officially on the list, but it was hard. It was so hard trying to determine if I wanted this one or the one that I'm about to play right now. And I'm going to play it for you because it deserves to be played. So you could call it 3B. 3B. Fine. This is 3B on my list. If you don't know what it is yet, they didn't play it this way back then that much. They cut out this part, obviously, for TV time, but I think it was debuted this way. And it just, the way that it goes, that melody, it just works when it gets to the meat of the song coming up. And I love Hollywood Rock's theme song. I really do. It works so much. I would love for him to come out to this, actually. If they do the rumored Roman Rock match at WrestleMania Hollywood in a couple of years, come on. This makes so much sense. It's just, I love this song. I really do. So 3B, we'll say. 3B. Not a part of the official list. The way they do that. I really love this song. I don't know what other people's opinions are, but this is my list. This is high on the list. I'm sorry. I would walk out to this song, absolutely. And it fit with The Rock back then. Hit the heel Hollywood Rock. I think this song really fit with him perfectly, especially in the beginning, when they would show the helicopter flying in the sky. They showed the helicopter in the sky and then the LA cityscape. I think it fit. Everything fit perfectly. So that was number 3, Stone Cold Disturbed, and 3B, Hollywood Rock. It's Conquered. Number 2 on the list is a current theme used on TV and would have been number 1 if number 1 didn't exist. Trying to, dance like Sammy. Let's go. Sami Zayn, Worlds Apart. This song, I don't know what it is. I swear to God, I could listen to this song forever. I could listen to this song over and over and over again. And I have actually cleaned my house once. True story. I cleaned my house once listening to a 10-hour version of the song. I didn't make it through the whole 10 hours, but I got to like nearly 4.5 hours. I love this song. It's so upbeat and it fits with him. Every time he comes out to the song, and you can just tell it makes him happy, the song, you know? And I love Sami Zayn so much. So it just fits. It fits. Oh. Oh my God. It's and I love the crowd singing along with it. It just makes it so much better. It really is. It's so amazing. Now we get to number one. And okay, so you're gonna probably be surprised at this one because even I was a little bit surprised. You know, I've talked about this character, and right now it might not seem like I'm that into what's going on because I'm not really that into what's going on. But the song that was debuted with this character captivated me, especially with how the character was debuted in their first match. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this yet, but I'm just going to give you a couple more words and then I'm going to play the song because you're going to be surprised if you don't know. The night that this character came out to this song, the way that they shot it captivated me. And damn you, WWE, for ruining him. Because, man, like, when this played, I took a picture of my face. I don't even know where it is now. I'll try and see if I can post it on Twitter. Follow me at Big Money Drew, and I'll post a picture. Because my mouth was just this, and it was a real reaction. My mouth was open, and I couldn't stop staring at it. And I went back and I watched other people's reactions to it because it just gave me chills. And how this character is booked now and what they've done with this character since then, I've not been that much of a fan of. And I really am upset about it because there was so much promise when this character debuted. So much promise. And WWE really screwed it up. Number one. The Fiend. When this song debuted, I was just captivated. I was floored. For it to be such a more badass theme than his original Broken Out of Love, that song. Oh my God. You might be surprised. And some people, I don't know like what their opinions are of the song because I don't really talk about it with people that much. It's just the whole ambience of this was unreal. SummerSlam 2019. This song plays, and he walks out with his head as a lantern, with his head as a goddamn lantern. And I've watched so many reactions to it on YouTube, and everyone has the same reaction. And I swear to God, I hate that WWE ruined it. What I like is that they don't play the song very often because they don't bring the Fiend out very often. However, when they bring the Fiend out, it's usually for a title match. Why, WWE? He doesn't need it. He doesn't need it. I have to stop it now. But, oh, come on. Why did you do this, WWE? I hope that this can be restored somehow. I mean, the song will always be number one in my heart. And my God, if I ever had the opportunity to walk out to that song, wow, that would be an honor. It really would. I loved that song with all my heart. But yeah, and I mean, there's an actual version. I actually was able to find the version that plays when he comes out, but the actual version of the song is not the version that plays when he comes out. I love it this way more. It takes me back to SummerSlam 2019, and I was just in love with it so much. And I still listen to it to this day. And I hope that The Fiend and Bray Wyatt can be restored in the eyes of fans, because not a lot of people are really liking it anymore. And it's such a shame because I've always loved him. I mean, some people haven't loved him even, back in the Eater of Worlds days and the Follow the Buzzard days. But it really clicked with me. And I just hope that WWE can snap out of it and do right by this character. And Alexa too, because I'm really not a fan of the magical stuff happening with Alexa. Oh, it's snowing right now. I'm not a fan of it, but man, I'm just not. I'm not a fan, but I really want it to get better. I really do. So that was my top 10 list and my honorable mention and my new favorites that I just found. And that was Big Money Talks. Other things have happened in the world of wrestling. There's the Peacock news, WWE Network, not going to be around in the United States after March. Superstar Spectacle is today. I'm not talking about any of that stuff. This is what I wanted to focus on. Next week, I'll talk about Peacock and other things that happen and the Royal Rumble fallout. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching. And also a special shout out to Diego on Twitter, my friend Diego, who I met once at This Is Progress NYC 1. And he gave me, little tips on this, and hopefully this doesn't get pulled, but we'll see what happens. If it does, I'll try and find another way to do this, where it won't get pulled. So until next Tuesday, bye for now.